Today on Fox 43 Featured, Harrisburg Area Community College have reached an agreement in contract negotiations. What this means for faculty and students. And popular baby formula, By Heart, is under recall. Fox 43 finds out what parents should know about the product. Plus, the Susquehannock Warriors basketball teams are proving the true measure of unity extends way past the scoreboard. Fox 43 Featured starts right now. Thanks for joining us for Fox 43 Featured. I'm Robert Stover. This week, faculty members of the Harrisburg Area Community College Education Association say they have overwhelmingly voted to approve a tentative contract with the college. That agreement is expected to bring raises and other benefits after 43 months on an expired contract. Now, the union and college have been going back and forth for weeks of negotiations, including 2 days where the faculty hit the picket lines. The contract will now move on to the administration for approval. And in a statement, the HACCEA says, quote, "We thank you for your patience and support during this process and look forward to working with you in our shared learning spaces for the remainder of this semester and beyond," end quote. Meanwhile, unionized Starbucks workers in Central PA say they plan to continue rallying to get better pay and benefits. Earlier this week, workers and supporters blocked off Starbucks Regional Distribution Center in York County, putting coffee deliveries on hold for hours. Fox 43's Sydney Nauman was there and has more on Central PA's part in the nationwide movement.
Solidarity forever.
Solidarity for Starbucks workers came from all directions, from local social media stars to community members from across the country like Demetris Dugar.
I'm from Seattle, Washington, so I've been on the Starbucks protest for a while, but now you're mistreating the workers, and now I'm on the streets with the Starbucks workers.
Even truck drivers outside Starbucks East Manchester Township Distribution Center offered their support despite delivery disruptions.
We are here to disrupt the day for Starbucks.
Nothing's coming in and nothing's coming out.
We are forming a blockade to prevent the trucks from delivering the product out to the stores.
The York County Distribution Center is one of the company's largest, serving the entire Northeast, which is why organizers say the demonstration was so impactful.
No stores are receiving their orders right now. We want to send a message to the company that baristas are ready and willing, and we're organized and very prepared to take drastic action to bring the company back to the table to settle this contract.
Barista Sylvia Baldwin says this strike is part of a coordinated push in over 40 cities, all aiming for Starbucks Workers United's first contract since unionizing 4 years ago. Demands for the contract include better pay, staffing, and hours.
We would need 20 hours to qualify for the benefits that Starbucks raves about. We are scheduled just underneath, so we're not eligible for those benefits.
Benefits which employees say would help offset increased workloads from the company's new coffeehouse code of conduct.
It was like doubling our workload, but expecting quicker results without actually giving us the resources to do that.
After 3 hours, the blockade cleared, and protesters promise this won't be the last time people from different walks of life march together.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
I hope there's a unionized stores and everybody willing to stand up and fight for what you believe in, because the company's not going to give it to you. You got to fight for it.
Sydney Nauman, Fox 43 News.
Now, organizers have yet to share when they plan to protest at the York County Distribution Center again. In the meantime, Fox 43 is waiting for a response to an email our team sent to Starbucks Corporation officials asking to set up an interview and to answer questions. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. And in York County, a longtime winery is closing for good after years of legal battles. Moon Dancer Winery in Lower Windsor Township announced the closure after a Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruling. The business had been facing legal issues since 2018 when neighbors on a property near the winery filed a lawsuit arguing Moon Dancer violated neighborhood covenants by operating as a vineyard and event destination. The winery was ordered to close multiple times and was allowed to reopen as the legal battles continued. Students and teachers at Elizabethtown High School in Lancaster County say they're dealing with, quote, alarmingly unsanitary conditions. Reports claim sewage has often been seen flooding school bathrooms. Fox 43's James Corrigan has more details about the possible health hazard at E-Town High.
Sewage water nearly flooding bathrooms has become almost a weekly sight in Elizabethtown High School, according to both students and faculty.
On any given day, there can be backups of sewage in the bathrooms.
EHS teacher and Teachers Union President Jim Safford says the sewage in the bathrooms has been a constant health hazard and that the bathrooms being shut down have become commonplace.
Normally, when something like that comes up, the bathroom is shut down. The custodial crew, the buildings and ground crew try to alleviate the problem, and then the bathroom is eventually, reopened. But it's a pretty frequent occurrence.
Complaints about sewage odors have come before the school board as recently as September, when the board approved the hiring of a firm to test the school's air quality 4 times a year. But the sewage itself remains an issue, and students like Annika Walsh say the unsafe conditions have hurt the learning environment.
When we're going to focus on students, and of course academics is a huge part of learning and of school in general, but you can't have academics when you don't have a safe environment.
The issue is compounded by reports and pictures of mold, both in bathrooms and throughout the school. Safford says the urgency from both the school board and the administration in fixing these health hazards is not there.
The message is all is well, we'll take care of things, don't worry. But we have children in this building. They're exposed to it for 4 or 5 years of being in the building. We're exposed to it as educators for our careers. It's not good.
James Corrigan, Fox 43 News.
A mother who lost her daughter in one of the deadly school shootings is asking Pennsylvania lawmakers for something simple to save lives. Fox 43's Sydney Nauman shows us how Alyssa's Law already saves students and school staff across the country with just the push of a button.
In the eyes of Lori Al-Hadaf, seconds decide survival.
Time equals life.
And 7 years after her daughter's death, she's fighting to give other students the moments her child never got.
She was only 14 years old when she was murdered in her English classroom. So we are working really hard to keep Alyssa's memory alive through Alyssa's Law.
Alyssa Al-Hadaf's name now sits on legislation that would require silent panic alarms in every Pennsylvania school. Alyssa was one of 17 victims of the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. At a hearing in the PA House Communications and Technology Committee Monday, Lori explained,
The faster that we can get help there will help to save lives. Whether it's a medical emergency if someone stops breathing, or the worst case scenario, an active shooter, it's for law enforcement to get there faster and to be able to take down the threat and save lives.
10 states have already adopted versions of Alyssa's Law, including Georgia, where Appalachia High School put its panic button to the test last year. Lori says when a gunman opened fire, the system helped change the ending.
The teacher saw the gunman walk on the campus, started pressing her panic button, and the 9 people that were shot, EMS got there and helped to save them, and they all lived.
Beth Sanborn, president of the State School Resource Officers Association, warns that not all school districts can afford the life-saving technology, which is why PASRO is pushing for funding programs that address implementation and operational costs for the systems to ensure equitable access to this safety technology across all Pennsylvania schools, regardless of local wealth, and prevent costs from becoming a barrier to student safety. Alyssa's Law has been in committee since February, and for Lori, moving slowly isn't an option.
We need to take action now to be prepared in the worst case scenario and to help to protect our students.
Because in the fight against time, there are seconds she can never get back, and those she's determined to save for someone else's child. Sydney Nauman, Fox 43 News.
The Sober Ride Home program is returning for Thanksgiving weekend in 3 South Central Pennsylvania counties. Now, the Tri-County Regional Planning Commission is partnering with Uber to offer $20 ride vouchers for residents in Cumberland, Dauphin, and Perry counties. It will take place Wednesday, November 26th through Sunday, November 29th from 7 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. The commission says it is important to make sure holiday travelers are getting safely to their destinations. And state lawmakers and hunger relief organizations are working to make sure no one goes hungry this holiday season. Advocates say federal cuts and months of budget gridlock have left pantries and families struggling to keep up. Fox 43's Natalie Caranda shows us what they say needs to change.
At the Capitol, advocates, survivors, and lawmakers stood together to spread awareness on food insecurity in Pennsylvania.
Today, we say no to food insecurity.
Heather Jackson, vice president of the Zonda Club, says hunger isn't just about empty shelves. It creates dangerous conditions, especially for women and children.
Food insecurity leads to domestic violence and human trafficking. Children are easy prey for traffickers when they are hungry.
Advocates say the strain is everywhere, from rural communities to cities, and it's grown significantly.
Food insecurity is a real problem, and it is especially a problem here in our great state of Pennsylvania.
And she says high prices are driving more people through the doors of food banks.
Inflation, high cost of food, job loss. The problem is that people don't know that there is food available. They don't know where it's being distributed.
Lawmakers that stood in support say this didn't have to happen.
My personal opinion is absolutely heartless to use hunger as a political weapon.
In the wealthiest nation in the history of the world, food insecurity is a policy choice.
Advocates say the need is higher than ever. Pantries are seeing longer lines and fewer donations, just as the holidays approach. They hope lawmakers will rebuild the progress they say was lost. Natalie Caranda, Fox 43 News.
The 162nd anniversary of the Gettysburg Address was celebrated this week. The speech lasted just 2 minutes, but it forever changed how the nation understood freedom, sacrifice, and democracy. At Gettysburg National Cemetery, hundreds gathered to honor President Abraham Lincoln's words. The address was delivered during the Civil War as the nation struggled to heal after one of the conflict's bloodiest battles. Historians say Lincoln used the moment to redefine America's purpose, calling for, quote, new birth of freedom and a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Also on the anniversary of the address, a powerful moment happened when 16 people from around the world officially became United States citizens. The ceremony was held just steps from Soldiers National Cemetery, the same place President Lincoln called for a new birth of freedom 162 years ago. The new citizens took their oath of allegiance, surrounded by families, park rangers, and historians, marking the significance of the day. Officials say holding a naturalization ceremony here helps connect each person's story to the broader story of American democracy.
Wasn't it exciting, all the countries that were represented here? It just made me think how much more special it is to be in the country that is truly made up of immigrants from all over the world, and I just feel very special to be one of them.
The newly sworn-in citizens say they're excited to vote, get involved with their communities, and start their next chapter as Americans. Coming up, popular baby formula ByHeart has been recalled. What doctors say parents should know as health officials investigate. Parents who buy a popular baby formula are being told to stop using it immediately. Fox 43's Jackie DeTore finds out why doctors say parents need to know.
All cans and packets of ByHeart infant formula are now under a recall. The company issued a voluntary recall while the FDA and CDC investigate infant botulism cases that may be linked to the formula. Dr. Christopher Russo, the medical director of pediatrics at WellSpan, wants to let parents know what to look out for.
The symptoms that a child might exhibit are constipation. They may have difficulty feeding, sucking, or swallowing. They may have a relatively weak cry. They may be more floppy than usual.
It's also important to know how long it could take for these symptoms to show up.
These symptoms can develop weeks up to a month after a child had been exposed.
So what can you do? Dr. Russo says to obviously stop using the formula and to bleach everything it has touched. But in some cases, like with some bottles, bottle cleaners, or even formula dispensers, that's not possible. While some people are posting on social media that they're throwing these things away, Dr. Russo doesn't think you need to do that.
You want to make sure that all parts that are in contact with formula or mixed formula mixed with water, that is thoroughly sterilized. And that could be with very hot water that you're using for a long time and letting it sit there. It might be multiple washes, might be putting whatever dishwasher safe parts are there. If necessary, boiling water if the part is safe for that. So there are things I would not want parents to necessarily throw things away.
But he does recommend not using them for a bit, even after they're cleaned. He suggests to wait about a month.
Those things are nice and convenient, but there are other ways to prepare formula without those, and there might be, for a couple weeks to just avoid using them if you're concerned at all about being able to clean them as thoroughly as possible.
Dr. Russo says WellSpan has fielded a lot of questions from concerned parents, which is totally understandable, but he also says they have not seen a case of botulism related to this formula yet, and to keep in mind that it is very rare. He does suggest if you do have this formula to keep it and store it in a place far away from everyone, just in case your baby does end up having symptoms. He also said that's really for a public health point of view, so experts could test that formula. Now, other parents are also saying to keep it just in case of a lawsuit in the future, which some families have already filed. Of course, that's totally up to you. And if you have a consumer story or scam you want me to look into, Fox 43 wants to find out, let me know. Send an email to fox43finds-out at fox43.com or join the Fox 43 Finds Out group on Facebook.
For the first time in Hershey Bear history, a father and son duo took the ice. Later this hour, how it was a special moment they will never forget. A team with a rich history like the Hershey Bears, it's not often the organization has new firsts. However, as Fox 43's Ryan Yee tells us, head coach Derek King and his son DJ did just that when the team took the ice.
A father-son first for the Hershey Bears.
Dad called me and goes, "Hey, stop what you're doing right now, go back to the rink and get your gear because you're coming to play tomorrow."
For the first time in its 88 season history, the Hershey Bears had a father-son duo in a regular season game as a head coach-player tandem. The stars aligned for head coach Derek King, who is in need of defensive help. His son DJ King, a defenseman on the Bears' ECHL affiliate South Carolina Stingrays, was ready for the call.
It wasn't necessarily because it's my kid, it was more to send a message to the guys down in South Carolina that it doesn't matter if you're an AHL contract or you're just a ECHL contract. If you're playing well and your coaches promote you, then you're going to get called up. I think he can play at this level, and we'll see where he goes with it.
A moment that DJ seized.
On a bank shot, ties the game at 1. DJ King's got to get an assist on that one.
Tallying his second career AHL assist in his first ever Bears game, all under the watch of his dad and head coach.
It was very special. It was pretty cool. Still hasn't sunk in, I don't think, but I'm sure down the line when we're together 10, 15 years from now, we'll be definitely reflecting on that moment for sure.
Yeah, we'll look back and he'll probably say I was yelling at him or something like that and turn it against me, but he did a good job for us.
The product of some Coach King advice that many years ago may have started with his son DJ, but now extends to the rest of the players under Derek's helm.
Doesn't matter what league you're in, you got to play your best. You got to give it all. I always say to these guys, game is on the line every time you step on the ice.
He's a great coach, and obviously he had a hell of a hockey career himself, so if I can take any points from him anytime, it's pretty good.
Ryan Yee, Fox 43.
Coming up, the Susquehannock Warriors basketball teams are proving the true measure of unity extends way past the scoreboard. The Beautiful Lives Project is an organization founded by people with disabilities for people with disabilities. As Fox 43's James Tully explains, in a couple of weeks, they'll be partnering with the Susquehannock basketball teams, giving some an opportunity they'll never forget.
One team, all heart.
Our community has given so much to us, and this is a wonderful opportunity to give something back.
This is a story of inclusivity at Susquehannock High School.
It's beautiful. Just seeing other people that's not like you can show them the joy, everything. It's just beautiful.
Last year, the Warriors basketball team partnered with the Beautiful Lives Project, hosting an open practice and a halftime scrimmage for adults and kids with disabilities in the community. It went so well, they're doing it again.
Because when we've done this event for now the second year, what we've seen is it gives so much more back to us.
It also gives the team's manager, Hank Hewer, the chance to be center stage, and it seems like everybody wants that for him. From players.
I love Hank. I see him every day. He greets me with a hug and a joyful smile.
To his friends.
He never mad, always smile on his face, just a good human, good person.
And his coach.
Hank has been dedicated to us as a basketball team, as individuals, more importantly, for over 30 years.
Favorite thing about basketball? Favorite thing about Susquehanna?
Chest bumps. I give it chest bumps.
What about hugs?
Them too. Them too.
Hey, look, high school basketball has changed a lot in recent years. The battle for scholarships, competitiveness. But Coach McCullough finds this to be a great reminder of what being a team is really all about.
So we'll evaluate ourselves based on wins, how we play, how we compete, but we're also going to evaluate ourselves at the end of the day. Are we good people? Do we include others in our basketball community?
So coming up on December 10th, 30 kids and adults with disabilities from the community will be on the court with the Susquehannock boys and girls basketball teams. I'm James Tully, Fox 43 News.
That's fantastic. Well, that's going to do it for Fox 43 Featured. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Have a good one.